Good morning, everybody. Jumping right into my watch list for today. Mostly just names out with some earnings. So jumping right into it, we got AMTM. They had earnings out this morning, and it had volume a couple days ago or last week. This is from a Citron tweet. Pretty decent volume, well above average. So we got that, a couple days of little decreasing volume, a little reversal, and then gap out of this big base off of their report. So really just looking for any trend to join over 28 if it has good volume and holds up well. Pretty big base here, almost a yearly base here. SYM pushing up a little bit too much probably this morning. I mean, they are in line, still negative in earnings, be a little bit on the sales, and then they have guidance out there. So really just probably going to keep an eye, same idea with FLNC, these two. I'm just going to stay familiar with, but I'm likely, not so interested, especially if it really, I mean, let's say this pushes off open into the 70s. You got to understand that this was 55 yesterday, so you don't want to be chasing this, or at least I don't want to be chasing this $20 higher. But we'll see how it opens up. Key level is about 65 if it does flush down. And FLNC earnings as well. I mean, kind of missed on both, but did raise forward year 2026, both in the right sector. I mean, robotics and the batteries or energy. So this 1820s is a pretty key level. We'll see what happens over there. And then key is just a little bit of a slower moving name out with earnings as well. If you just zoom out a little bit to the yearly chart here, I mean, huge move, and just, I mean, soaking this 120 level for 4 years, 3 years. And now, I mean, it's just gapping up a little bit, almost nearing those all-time highs. So just one I'm going to, keep an eye out. This thing has been just going sideways for years. So I'm just going to stay familiar there as well. That's pretty much what I got. I'm going to pass it right over to Josh.
Yep. Good morning. KSS is going to be one that I'm going to watch. It's up 25% already, but over the next couple of days, I'm going to see if we can't get a pull, towards 1850, 19, base a little bit, and then, form the second leg. I'm not really interested in chasing, but the entire retail sector is strong. And that has AEO on my watch as it was yesterday. I do think this thing has a good chance of making 52-week highs today. They have earnings in 7 days. So this is another trend join type off of the open. You have ANF up as well. So you're just seeing a surge in a retail space, and I want to be where kind of the money is going. AMD. This is more pressure from the Google chip news. If we can get it pop to like 205, 207, I would potentially be interested in a short. I would not be surprised if there's a couple of days of continued downward pressure on AMD and NVIDIA from the Google kind of TPU news. But that's really it for me, and passing it right along.
All right. Morning, everyone. So for me this morning, it's going to be Microsoft. I'm interested in this name mostly because, it has this, narrow range here. Now it's gapping down and it's looking pretty much weak, but we shall see how the market is going to be today. I'm tempted to have a long attempt if it's going to wash out and then have, against versus yesterday's low. So if it's going to have that washout, then it's try to bounce there. I'm going to be interested in taking a long, having a tight risk slightly below. So I'm not going to let it slip through fingers and just go lower and lower, and only interested in that bounce. Also looking at DDOG, same thing here. Had a decent pullback yesterday, narrow range. Now, if it's going to build up, into this area and have a push through 160, I'm going to be interested in a long there. Snow, same thing more or less, had a nice pullback. And keep in mind, most of these names are, I don't have here moving averages, but they rest on on some of the moving averages, and what I'm looking for basically it's a bounce from them. So same thing here, like I said on Snow, any push through 243 ish, I'm going to be interested, or yesterday highs for a long. Baba had earnings this morning. I like this name mostly because it's breaking out this range, been pretty choppy here, but now since we have this gap up, I'm going to be interested in any dips versus 162-ish, or any sideways action build up and then some sort of an opening range break for a long, and also keeping an eye on NU. Again, this one it's building up pretty nicely here. This one been on my radar since last week. I like the fact that right now it's not giving up and still staying up here, but still has to prove itself. And I'm only interested in taking along if it's going to push through 16. So that's pretty much the plan there. And another name I'm watching is Xpro. Same thing here. This one, it's building up nicely. So I'm not trying to anticipate any breakout here, but if it's going to push through 14 and the volume is going to be there, then definitely I'm going to be interested in taking a long position there. And also keeping an eye on AEHL. That's, the small cap of the day. So far, it's gapping up slightly, so I'm going to treat this one as a day two type of trade. So far it's looking weak. I'm not going to do anything here, but if there are going to be any pops against VWAP or even slightly higher, then I'm going to be interested in joining the backside, risking pretty much pre-market or after hour highs. So yeah, that's what I have for today, guys. Have a nice one.
Yep. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Emil. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the room.